Welcome to Project X. Finally, delivery done right as a co-op. But before we get started on the Project X components and details, we want to share who we are. We are More Time Express, based in Boulder, Colorado. We are proud members of the Colorado Restaurant Association. Our company is innovating the way people are getting personal ground transportation services. We include everything. Now, we are a team of technology and app development gurus with experience in building more than 1,000 mobile apps for other organizations over the past 7 years. When we put this together, we actually went out and drove, our analysts, our developers, we drove for Uber, Uber Eats, Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates, and Taxi. So we understand the entire ecosystem end to end. And in some of our past, a couple of us have restaurant management experience. So you all know this today. There are a lot of choices in the marketplace out there, from Grubhubs to Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, all of them. Their models are similar, their services are similar, and it's a difficult marketplace, and we want to X this out. So in order for this to be successful, there are 4 pillars in the app-based takeout model. Number 1, the customer, the restaurant, the driver, and the platform. And for this to work long term, it has to be a win-win-win-win, not just a win-win. Now, the reality is it's not a win-win-win-win. It's actually a win-win, lose-lose. The win-win is for the customers and the platform providers. The lose-lose is really for the restaurant and the driver. So let's take a look at this right now, the current state of the market, and we think it's a broken business model. Let's look at the winners. Well, the customer, they've got it great. They've got convenience. They can order their meals anywhere, anytime, any place. They've got hundreds of choices, and so it makes it easy for them to whet their appetites and get their meals. It's a great convenience for the customer, so they win. Let's look at the platforms. All of those aforementioned companies, they take this huge margin, 30 to 35%. Well, their perception is, because their margins are 80 to 90%, that the restaurant can afford 30 to 35%. Well, they're winning because they take a lot of money. And they also hang on to the customer base, even though it's a joint customer. I've asked these food platform delivery services, whose food are they delivering? And isn't that a joint customer? And they look at me like I had 2 heads. They think it's just their customer. So the question I pose is, why are they the only one in the model entitled to make a profit? So again, the platform wins. Now let's look at the other side, the lose-lose, the restaurant, the people we work with and represent. Number 1, it's too high of a margin from the platform. Nobody can afford on a 3 to 6% margin taking 33% of the food order to apply for services. That's ridiculous. What it's really creating is unprofitable orders. And if you don't have any customer information, which they don't share, you have no way to invite them back in. So everybody's doing this because it's a me too effect. You don't want to be left out. You see the guy down the road, around the corner, up the street, they've got delivery services, so now you've got to make it easy for people to do this. Well, the reality is everybody in the industry is hoping that the food brings the customer back. Well, I don't know about you, in any business I've been involved with, hope is not a strategy. So for the restaurants, it's really not a winning situation. And the last pillar in the equation is the drivers. Poor compensation. Some of these drivers are running around grossing $8 or $9 an hour, and then they have all their gas and vehicle expenses. They drive all over Timbuktu, they're not focused, and it really is poor compensation when you look at it. And because of this, there is a high apathy rate and a very high turnover rate, as much as 90% every 90 days. Well, that's where we come in with Project X. We think we have fixed all of these challenges and have a better model that is actually a win for all. So let's look at the customer. Yes, the convenience is still there, still many choices, but one of the things we provide is a dedicated driver. Your drivers work in a small area and they get relationships with the customers. We have a loyalty point service, a loyalty point system, and because our drivers make more, there's better service. For the restaurant, It's actually a fair margin to support the co-op platform. It's 12%, and 2% of that goes back to the restaurant association. There's customer data ownership to the restaurant, so it's your customer. It's not some platform's customer. And when the food is delivered, there's an automatic thank you and coupons sent via text and email to send a coupon that's only good in the store. So invite them to come in where they can get a more profitable meal. There's CRM and marketing automation tools built into the system, so these customers who purchase takeout orders are now under your marketing department's arm to be able to reach out to them in an automated fashion. And as I mentioned before, 2% of the revenue is donated back to the restaurant association. So there's the win for you. You get new customers, you build your customer base, and you send coupons to bring people back into the store. Well, the drivers, we have great compensation. Most of our drivers are making on a pace to make $80,000 a year or more. And that's because of high utilization for doing all types of services, food delivery, or errands, passenger rides, retail pickup, etc. And they build a real business because they get equity in that customer base. So they're motivated to stay there, much higher retention rates, like, quadruple, and they're building a business that has equity. They have localized relationships, and so they work with the customers to basically be concierge services. So the platform, it's really a co-op, okay? And this is the first one in the industry of its kind that we see in any industry. It's a true partnership with the restaurants and the associations, and so it's done in a co-op. There's a realistic margin to the platform to maintain the system, and being that it's industry platform, we should have wide-scale adoption and better relationships with all the other pillar members. All right, so now the really cool stuff, okay? It's an industry app, as we mentioned, the first of its kind. There's no techies here trying to be bazillionaires. We want a fair model that's a win for all. The app will never be for sale. We are solving an industry issue for all, and it is an opportunity for all stakeholders to make good money and to be profitable. The industry members are also invited to participate in the funding through crowdfunding. We have a GoFundMe site set up, and everybody who contributes will get a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning for every dollar that you contribute to the platform, you get a share. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. The company will pay dividends and profit sharing, so most all investments will be recouped into the platform. The national and state restaurant associations win, and most importantly, a steering board that all stakeholders sit on to shape the services. So the restaurants, the drivers, the platform, all are going to contribute to the services. It's not going to be a one-sided situation. So if you're interested in joining us, we welcome you. We invite you to be part of this co-op platform. The adoption will be wide range. We expect to have the app fully out nationwide around May of 2019. Go ahead and contact us. You can send an email to this email address, the projectx@moretimex.com. You can actually give us a call. Our team members that are dedicated to helping the restaurants, the phone number's here at 720-278-0267. And you can get more details off of the website at moretimex/Project X. So that's it. That's our Project X. We are going to change the way the industry works and make it a win-win for everyone involved. This is not a get-rich thing for a platform. It is an industry-wide solution to make it a win for everyone who participates. So come join us. And until next time, stay golden.